What's up everyone, Kewbix here, and welcome back to a brand new video. So today I'm going to be giving you a brief history as well as a mega comparison of the entire WeiLong lineup. I really hope you enjoy this video, so without further ado, let's just get right into it. The well-known Chinese cube brand Moyu, meaning having friends, released its second ever 3x3 in June of 2013, the Moyu WeiLong V1. This was a predecessor of their first 3x3, the Moyu Huanying. This cube was actually made to be an upgrade of the Huanying, as it features a far less clicky mechanism, and it also has tracks further out on the pieces, as well as shorter edge stalks and a wider base to eliminate a lot of the popping and locking up that the Huanying experienced. These edge tracks right here allow for less friction, for more fluid turning, and it also allows lube to make its way around the puzzle a lot easier. On the WeiLong V1, the edge pieces are split into two, as well as the corner pieces. This cube also has a squish torpedo design on the edge piece, which allows for more corner cutting and less catching, and it also has the standard Moyu core. This cube might have been a great upgrade to the Huanying, but cubers all around still experienced some major problems with this puzzle. To start, the turning was still very blocky and clacky, and this blocky design allowed for a little bit of catching. Also, center caps fall out quite frequently. Oh, there goes one now. And this cube also corner twists very easily, which is how Felix Zemdeg's DNF'd what would have been a world record solve. Disregarding all the downsides, this cube does indeed have some pretty fluid and buttery turning, and a lot of cubers switch to this cube as their main. The corner cutting is actually fairly good, and finger tricks are quite easy to execute. Moving on from the WeiLong V1, in early 2014, the WeiLong V2 was released. This cube hardly had any changes to the mechanism, except for a slightly different way that you put the pieces together. I currently don't own the WeiLong V2, but I will put a picture of it on the screen right here. Then in 2016, WeiLong made a huge step up from their previous two releases, and this was the Moyu WeiLong GTS. The WeiLong GTS surprisingly has no tracks on the pieces, yet it still turns super fluidly. Also, the WeiLong GTS has a slightly different torpedo design on the edge piece. The GTS has a square with a little hole in it, while the V1 and V2 have the little rectangular torpedo that intersects with this little part. Now on the corner piece, the GTS does actually have quite a few tracks, while the V1 and V2 don't have any. Also on the GTS, the stalk is way skinnier, because you can see on the V1 there's this huge bulb right here, but on this it's just a skinny cylinder. And the base of the stalk is way bigger and wider, and also features this little design right here. One last thing, the edge and the corner piece actually have caps, so you can't split the piece in half like this, making a stickerless version impossible to make. Now what truly makes this cube so extraordinary and stand out is its insanely fast and smooth turning, its minimal catching, and its incredibly finger trickable turning. Also, the edge pieces are way less squared off, which allows for incredible corner cutting, almost 2 full pieces. And the reverse corner cutting is a full piece, if not more. That is just insane. Now moving on to the WeiLong GTS V2, which was released in 2017. This was about the time when WeiLong started to decrease their cube size, allowing for easier finger tricks and better controllability. For quite a while, the GTS V2 was considered to be the greatest speed cube of all time because of its flexibility and its insanely buttery and smooth and fluid turning. This cube also isn't as clacky as the original GTS. This cube actually has a way simpler mechanism and design than the original GTS. For one, there are only slight, if any, tracks on the pieces, and the corner stalk is just a skinny cylinder, and it doesn't have any extra design inside the base of the stalk on the corner. On the edge piece, it filled in the little hole that the GTS had, and other than that, it just looks a lot more simpler. The WeiLong GTS and the GTS V2 introduced this new core design. Now you can also see that the GTS V2 has this little edge bump right here that the GTS does not have, and this allows for far more controllability and stability. The corners also come in a 3-piece design, which allows for stickerless versions of this cube to be easily manufactured. And just like that, you slip these 3 pieces together. So this is definitely a really good upgrade to the original GTS, and to make things even better, the corner cutting is just phenomenal. It can cut just a little bit further than the GTS, and reverse corner cut further as well. And it corner cuts these incredible lengths with ease. This new design also makes finger tricks super easy, and the turning is insanely buttery and smooth. This cube rarely has catches, and the more squared off corner pieces that each of these cubes has results in far less corner twisting. Around this time period, magnets in cubes were also becoming far more popular, so WeiLong decided to add magnets into their GTS V2. These magnets in both the corner and the edge pieces allow for way easier alignment and far better accuracy when turning. Most of the time, each turn finishes exactly squared off, so you don't have to keep aligning all the layers after each turn, so then you can do another move. Other than that, the magnetic version of the GTS2 is exactly the same as the GTS2, except it just has magnets. And so like I was saying earlier, with the 3-piece corner design, stickerless cubes can be made, and that is how this cube was made. And so stickerless cubes were also becoming a lot more popular, since just a little bit before this time, they were made legal in competition. The GTS2 also introduced a really nice and satisfying magnetic box. All of these cubes from the WeiLong V1 to the WeiLong GTS V2M just have a plain and simple screw tensioning system. Just using screws makes tensioning very quick, simple, and easy, but it also limits the customization options and the different parts of the cubes that you can change. And that is where the Moyu WeiLong GTS 3M comes in. This cube is super controversial because it has ridges on all of the pieces, which about half of the cubing population loves and half of the cubing population hates. Personally, I don't mind it, and I honestly feel like my fingers don't slip as much, but a lot of people think they are too big and just get in the way, and they just kind of feel annoying and make your fingers hurt after a while. So this cube was released in 2018, and aside from these controversial ridges that the pieces have, this cube solves a problem which I addressed in the previous cubes, and that is customization options. This is Moyu's first cube that has a different way to customize the tensions other than just the screw, and that is Moyu's dual adjustment system. As you can see, this cube comes with a load of accessories. Now, most of these aren't that important, like their classic screwdriver and these weird things, which I think make sure tensions are equal, but I'm not quite sure. And then all of these extra springs and replacement core and magnets. Now the thing that actually is really important is this tiny little tool in the corner right here. And this is how you tension and adjust their dual adjustment system. If you take off the center cap, you can see this little piece right here on the outside of the screw. Now the circular piece has little grooves and steps that move along this white piece underneath. If you attach this tool right here to that blue piece where it fits in, and you turn it counterclockwise, you can hear little clicks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then on your 9th turn, it goes all the way down back to setting 1. As you get a higher number of clicks, these springs become tighter, and that is what this is tensioning. So this is on 8, and it is very, very tight and not as flexible. If we go back to setting 1, it is way, way more flexible and a little bit more uncontrollable. Personally, I prefer a little bit more controllable, but also near the middle, so setting 6. This cube corner cuts just as good as the previous 2 cubes, and it is also super buttery and smooth, as well as really controllable and easy to align because of the magnets. Now in this cube, the magnets are very strong, so you can get a LM version, which means lighter magnets. The only problem I have is middle moves, and it seems like it's kind of hard to turn them, and if you try too hard, it'll overshoot, and if you don't go as hard, it'll undershoot. But since the magnets are a little bit strong, it makes middle turns a little bit uneven and weird. I think it's also worth it to note that this cube does also come in a really nice magnetic box with a really neat display case and stand for the cube. So this leads us to the last 3 cubes of the video: the WeiLong WRM 2019, and then the 2020 and 2021 versions. In this case, I have the light version, but they're exactly the same, just fewer accessories. The WRM 2019 is actually the cube that comes with that large accessories box, not the GTS 3M, but you can use all those accessories for the GTS 3M as well, so it doesn't really make a difference. Anyways, like I said, the WRM has the dual adjustment system, but other than this, and the fact that they took away the ridges, this cube is basically just the GTS 3M. It is supposed to be just a slight bit more controllable, and it does have a little bit lighter magnets. Other than that, this cube corner cuts just like the others, and it is super buttery and smooth. It isn't catchy at all, and corner twisting is very rare. This cube does also have corner tracks, and it sticks with that weird, complicated core design. All of these cubes do also come with that nice display case and stand, so yeah, I don't really need to show those. Anyway, the WRM was most likely my main because it is so buttery and controllable, and I really like the insanely glossy plastic. But two cubes that I recently unboxed just overtook that cube as my main. Even though these cubes have slightly frosted plastic, the WRM 2020 and the 2021 version are just incredible and completely blow my mind away. Out of the box, both of these cubes felt insanely light, and the turning was way too easy. I overshot a lot, but once I got used to it, it just got so incredibly smooth and easy to turn. Your fingers don't have to work hard, and these cubes are also very, very controllable. They have the perfect flexibility. Corner cutting is the same as the others, and this cube has the same dual adjustment system as the previous cubes. All that's really different is just the way lighter and fluid and faster turning. And that is why this cube is my main. The light turning makes super easy middle turns. Now sometimes this cube is a little too fast, but with a little lube to slow it down, it just becomes incredible. This cube is also fairly small, and it is super easy to one hand because of the light turning and controllability. And that takes us to the final cube of the video, the WRM 2021, which I just unboxed with the 2020 version. This cube is pretty much the same as the others with the dual adjustment system, but it actually does feature a new design, which I'm pretty sure is Moyu's first ever cube to have this, and that is the adjustable magnets. And so it's similar to GAN and other cubes that have this. Basically, you have a little tool that turns that magnet to one of these 5 numbers that you see right here. It goes 1 to 5, 1 actually being the strongest magnets for some reason, and 5 being the lightest. Now, one problem I have with this cube is that out of the box, it was a little bit catchy and kind of gummy feeling, and it hasn't quite gone away, so it's definitely not as fast as the 2020 version. Now, maybe it is just my cube that's like that, but in my opinion, out of the box so far, the 2020 version is a little bit better. Now, you can definitely change this with the adjustable magnets and tensioning and lube, but out of the box, the 2020, in my opinion, is a little bit better. Now, this cube is a little bit more controllable because of the different magnet settings you can put it on, but mine does have one problem, and that is this one corner cap keeps popping off. And I don't know why, but it's kind of annoying. It is still really good, but out of the box, it's a little bit tight. As you can see, it can't corner cut 2 full pieces. It's kind of catchy, and it's just really hard to corner cut that high. So this cube is a little bit tight. Now, reverse corner cutting is still good, but this cube definitely feels tight. So you can obviously loosen it. It's not like it's going to be like that forever, but out of the box, I think the 2020 is just a little bit better. Now, one really good thing about the 2021 version is that it has really quiet turning. Here it is compared to the other cubes. So for the 2021 version, here is the adjustment tool right here. It kind of looks like a sword, and it has this little tab on the very end that you can kind of see, and that's what goes into that little slot in the magnet. So you insert that tab into the slot, and you turn the magnet clockwise. You'll hear a little click. And right now I'm on setting 5, which is the loosest magnets. And it definitely feels a lot looser. And so then if I go to setting 1, the magnets feel a lot tighter, which makes this cube a lot more controllable and stable. Now the time that you have all probably been waiting for has arrived. Which cube do I recommend to you guys? So to start, we can obviously get rid of these original ones, the GTS, even the GTS 2 and the 2M, which are still really good cubes to this day, super stable and buttery, but they don't quite perform as high a level as these cubes. Then the WRM 2019 and the GTS 3M are basically the same thing, except the ridges a lot of people don't like, so we can get rid of this cube. And now we have just the 3 WRM cubes left. There are things that I really like about all of them. The 2019 version has really glossy plastic, which gives you really good grip. But the cube is just a little bit too slow and clacky for me. The 2020 version does have frosted plastic, which is kind of annoying, but the speed is incredible. And if anything, you can just slow it down if it's too fast. But the corner cutting, just the turning, fluidity, finger tricks, everything about this cube is so pleasant. It's insanely satisfying to turn, and it is just one of my favorite cubes to turn in my collection. Now the final cube is the WRM 2021. The cube doesn't turn quite as well out of the box as the 2020 version, but with a lot more customization options, especially with magnets and then the dual adjustment system, this cube does have the potential to be incredibly good. In my opinion, I recommend this cube to you guys because of the price. This cube comes in at around $35, so it's a really expensive WeiLong cube. This cube comes in around $30, the 2020 version, and so that's way better than the 2019 version because it performs better and it is like $5 cheaper. But what gets even better is the 2021 version, and this cube is about $25. That is just incredible. The performance is insane. A lot of people might like it more than the 2020 version. The controllability and stability are really good. The adjustability is also just like so many other high-end speed cubes nowadays. And just the lower price, but for all these better options, it's just why I recommend this cube to you. So definitely, if you love WeiLong cubes, I would recommend getting the WeiLong 2021 version. It's a really good cube, and I feel it has such great potential to be the best cube on the market as of August 2021. So I really want to thank you guys for watching this video, and I really want to thank the Cubicle for supplying me with most of these cubes. All of these are really good, and I hope you learned a lot with this video. Definitely make sure to use code Kewbix at checkout for 5% off your orders at teamcubicle.com, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.